Our lesson for today is titled The Path for Peace. The Three Easy Keys. From St. Paul's letter to the Ephesians, when Paul was writing from the solitude of his imprisonment, he wrote a true hymn to unity, recalling the dignity of vocation. Paul's solitude would accompany him until his death in Rome, because Christians were too busy in their internal struggles within the church. And before Paul, Jesus himself asked for the grace of unity from the Father for all of us. Yet today we are used to breathing the air of conflict. Every day on the TV and in the newspapers, on the radio, we hear about conflicts and wars, one after the other, without peace, without unity anywhere on the horizon, anywhere in the world. Ceasefires and other agreements created to stop the conflicts, even temporarily, are ignored, so that the arms race continues and expands. The preparation for war continues apace, and the death and destruction never ceases. Even world institutions, created with the best of intentions for peace and unity, fail to come to an agreement because of a veto here and hidden agenda or interests there. While they are struggling to survive at peace agreements, children have no food, no education, and no hospitals, because the war has destroyed everything. It's nearly destroyed their childhood. Then you see children sneak out of their hidey holes at every opportunity to play footy, football, soccer, with anything used for a ball. They have to pretend to be the great Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, using their imagination at every opportunity, to hear the cheers surrounding them, unexploded ordnance for the goalposts. They become highly accurate with their kicks. The smiling, cheering, laughing at the resounding echo of the first shot, they disappear again, the ghosts of their laughter remaining behind, the ghosts of Ronaldo and Messi hanging forlorn in the empty air, no one filling their imaginary shells, but the smiles of the children too hang in the still air, waiting, hoping, ready for their return, hoping they will each survive to return to pick up their smile again, to fulfill the Ronaldo or the Messi again. There is a tendency to destruction, war, and disunity in us. It is the tendency that the devil, the enemy and destroyer of humanity, sows in our hearts. Paul, the apostle, teaches us that the journey of unity is, so to say, clad or armored with the bond of peace. Peace leads to unity. We encourage all of you to adopt a behavior that is worthy of the call that is received, with all humility, gentleness, and patience. We who are used to insulting and shouting at each other need to make peace and unity among us with gentleness and patience. We urge all Christians to open their hearts and make peace in the world, taking the path of these three little things: humility, gentleness, and patience. Draw your attention to the practical advice of Paul, to bear with one another in love. We acknowledge it's not easy, as there is always a judgment, a condemnation, which leads to separation and distance. When a rift is created between members of a family, the devil is so happy, so excited with the start of a new war. The advice from Paul is then to bear with one another, because we always have an excuse to be annoyed, to be impatient, as we are all sinners with defects. St. Paul, inspired by Jesus at the Last Supper, who urged for one body and one Spirit, thus urges us to preserve the unity of spirit through the bond of peace. The next step is to see the horizon of peace with God, just as Jesus made us see the horizon of peace with prayer. Father, may they be one, as you and I are one. Recall the Gospel of Luke, where Jesus advises us to strike an agreement with our adversary along the way to court. It is good advice, as it is not difficult to come to an agreement at the beginning of a conflict. The advice of Jesus is to settle the matter and make peace at the beginning, which calls for humility on both sides, gentleness of all persons, and patience. One can build peace throughout the world with these three little things, which are the attitude of Jesus, who is humble, meek, and forgiving of everything. Today we, the world, our families, and our society need peace. We invite Christians to start putting into practice humility in daily life, gentleness in all relationships, and patience in every communication. This is the path to making peace and consolidating unity of every human.